No, wait for Coach to go in first.
Yeah.
Well, what were you thinking? Why?
All right, we have head coach Brenda Freeze and our four seniors. After a senior day win, Abby Myers, Diamond Miller, Faith Masonis, and Eliza Pinzot. Coach will start, and then we'll take questions for the players.
Yeah, just credit to Illinois, how they competed and started in this game. I mean, Shauna Green and her staff have had a phenomenal year. I mean, that's a top NCAA tournament team that is going to, make a deep run in the tournament. But I thought Illinois came out red hot. They couldn't have shot it any better, especially from 3-point range, which statistically they haven't shown in the past. But they went in. We were obviously uncharacteristically cold. So that first half was kind of a tough one to be able to stomach. But terrific response out of the locker room. We spent a lot of time talking about our energy and specifically on the defensive end when your shots aren't falling. And I thought the response in the third quarter when it was 31-8, you saw our full court press. We were a lot more dialed in, and just can't say enough. I thought Bree gave us some really important minutes in that time as well, and just really proud for these four seniors. What they've given to our program. Your senior game is something that you'll always remember. So just a terrific response.
Take questions for the players first. Go ahead, Kareem.
Hey, Diamond. Congrats, y'all. Right before half, you were kind of ticked off, right, as you were going to halftime. What was the halftime conversation like? And then, you ended up 1 point shy of your career high. So what was that second half like for you?
Halftime was what halftime needed to be, and I think that fired us up. And when we came back out, we came out playing good defense and just executing on both sides of the court.
Just a quick follow-up for Faith, as the de facto defensive coordinator out there. What most impressed you in that third quarter about the way you guys picked up your defense and what was working with the trap and all that?
I think definitely putting on our 12 press, we got our hands big, and that kind of just upped our energy. And we realized once we press, we have that pressure, we're long, we can get those steals and just get wide open layups, and it can be that easy. So just kind of following up off that. We're getting those steals, wide open layups, so it kind of just gave us that energy push we needed.
Question for Abby. I wanted to ask you about a specific play at the end of the third quarter. Bree was on defense, riding pretty hard, and she got the ball loose, and you dove for it and got the layup to end the third quarter. What was going through your mind when that happened, and how does it show both the offensive and defensive capabilities of this team that you were able to get the steal and convert it into a point pretty quick?
Yeah, I mean, credit to the front of the 12 today, Shy and Bree. They were kind of just our energy to start, and forcing those turnovers. But yeah, I mean, it's always fun to get an and one, and I just credited Bree for that amazing pressure because I couldn't have gotten it without her.
Hey, for Diamond, in the first half, obviously, coach demands a lot of energy from you guys and a lot of, just willpower on the court. I'm curious, if you thought that the energy level was at, I guess, her expectation, what she expects of you guys to.
The first half?
Yeah, in the first half.
No, it wasn't. I think we all pretty much felt it, and that's what we need to work on as a team is flipping the switch a little bit more quicker than what we do. And basically at halftime, we definitely needed to regroup, and I think halftime came at good timing. Yeah.
Great timing.
This is for Abby. As a team, Coach mentioned you guys were uncharacteristically poor from three, but everything else was pretty good. 18 for 18 from the free throw line, outscored them in the paint, 56-12. Can you talk about, despite the struggles from the 3-point line, just kind of how you guys were able to make that up in other facets of the game?
Yeah, a lot of our threes came in the first half. We were forcing shots, not being disciplined, and coach at halftime said let's run it to them, right? They don't want to defend us, and I think we definitely, especially Diamond, really just capitalized on that. Attacked the paint, got some and ones, and But yeah, it's interesting winning a game, being 0 for 17 while the other team is 12 for 22. It's an interesting statistic, but it shows our depth and how we can win games in a lot of different ways. I won't share specifics, but obviously we have high expectations for ourselves, and we wanted more, we wanted better.
I will say they rate themselves a little higher than what I rated. I will tell you that.
On the energy scale,
that was
baby.
called out.
She was like, "Yep, nope, I don't agree with that."
She's like, I don't agree with that.
She did walk in.
Faith, just for you, started pretty much every game this year. Just what did it mean to you to be, back for senior day after, the injury last year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously today was special for me. The year coming off injury last year was not great and not fun for me, but coming back and having such a great year with a great new team is a lot of fun. I'm just happy to be able to celebrate it here.
And then just quick follow-up, that first basket in the third quarter, Diamond, gets the layup in the end one. Seemed like that kind of sparked you guys a little bit. Just, what was the energy there on the court and after that for Faith? Yeah.
For me, okay. Obviously those N1s are going to get us going every time, but being able to get those defensive stops and convert them to offensive, N1s are great. Just really got us going, pushing. The push we needed came at the perfect time.
Another senior day question. Abby, you said afterwards you had a lot of family and friends, I guess, here today. How exciting was that, and were there enough bobbleheads to go around?
Well, luckily we get a box of bobbleheads per senior, so I have a lot to give out, but it's always special, and coaches saying full circle moment. I'm back home, and to have my neighbors all of Bridal Terrace come out and support me, and just friends that I haven't seen in a long time is really special, and I'm super grateful for them, and I realize how lucky I am to have that.
Yeah, for any of the players, really, you come out of the gate with 5 early turnovers in the first quarter, and then the second, third, fourth, you combine for only 7 turnovers, end up, tripling them in points off turnovers. So what was kind of the messaging throughout the game, and how were you guys able to settle down and basically, dominate in that facet of the game?
I think our defense was the key, and we were not really locking at the beginning of the game, and obviously being locked in the second half forced them a lot of turnovers, and we got a lot of steals and just easy kick ahead to layups, and I think that was the main thing.
Yeah. Senior day question for Faith and Diamond. You guys have been here for 4 years now, whether you've been playing or not. So what does it mean just to kind of have this experience where you get all your family and all the fans supporting you, and just that standing ovation at the end of the game when you exited the court in the final minute?
I think it's awesome how, me and Diamond came in together, 2 Jersey girls, and we're, able to be on the court together for our senior year. It's just awesome that we're close enough to home at a great program where our family can come and support us, and just have the success that we've had at our years here at Maryland together. It's just a lot. It means a lot. Me and Diamond played together, or not played together, played against each other in high school.
Mention that too.
Yeah, played together against each other in high school, and now we're playing on the same team and having just great success. So it means a lot to be able to come here, Maryland, and just have fun.
Yeah, Maryland definitely connected us. We've known each other for a very long time, but I never got to really get to know her until I came here. So it just comes full circle, and 4 years you learn a lot in college for 4 years, to say the least. I mean, you see people come and go, and you're like, what do I do next kind of situation. But, you just got to realize that everybody has different journeys and trust yours. And this was my journey, and it's about to, well, we still got more years, but yeah,
We have time for 1 or 2 good players. We'll go to Damon for a lap. We'll wrap up with Damon. Go ahead.
Hey, Diamond. They seem to be playing. They seem to play you a lot of half-court zone. You seem to be really patient. With getting to your left hand and being more patient with your dribble. What did you see out there that allowed you to find success?
Yeah, zone is really great, but there's also a lot of gaps in zone. And once you find those gaps, it kind of just opens up the zone into easy opportunities for you. So, or your teammates. So just looking at the gaps, and once you've exposed the gaps, keep attacking the gaps.
And I have one for Faith. Faith, in the first quarter, you corralled an offensive rebound. Did you throw a no look to Cheyenne for senior day?
Was it
I don't think it
the
was-
back door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, it wasn't a no look. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Little snake eyes for you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our social.
Thank you.
Oh, we are going to this.
Your party.
Oh my god. I just remembered that.
You guys have one. Who's your pick?
Go Eagles! Fly, Eagles, fly!
Please raise your hand for the mic for Coach. Go ahead, Kareem.
Brenda, what's to say about this group that they kind of continue to find different ways to win and even after bad quarters, bad halves, they can kind of refocus themselves and come out stronger than even after struggling early.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that's just a really, really good win and showed a lot, being down so much in the first half against a really good team. But I love the fact that they are, sometimes we get stubborn and not listen in timeouts, but I thought the regroup at halftime and just understanding every game is going to be different. And, us getting to the free throw line 16 times in the second half and being 100% was a big X factor on top of our defense. So those two areas, they just kind of started to understand where they could be successful.
Hey, Coach. Similar question to the one I gave Abby. Over 17 from three is kind of a tough day, but you guys did a lot of other things really well. Can you talk about the other areas that allowed you to make up for the poor shooting from three?
Yeah. It started defensively with our press. I thought, just the response. I can't say enough from Shy was struggling a little bit in that first half, and it really challenged her and Diamond at halftime. Those two really needing to step up our energy for the defensive end, and being able to force them into 25 turnovers and having 18 steals. I thought was big, and then getting to the free throw line. The 16 times. I thought we started to take better shots, the selection. And, typically those threes are good for us. We just didn't have the legs. We're getting ready to come at a perfect time in our bye week and some time to rest. But just finding a different way to win tonight was important.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the press a little bit earlier, and I think you even brought up Bree earlier. From our vantage point, felt like a little bit near the end of the first half. At the top of the press, she gave you guys some juice, some energy. Then it really seemed like it turned when you brought her back in. I think in the third quarter, her and Shy really got things going. Was it just as simple as just turning up the ball pressure a little bit?
It was, this is where, sometimes I think when you watch a team, scout specific, they had shown up to that point that zone was the way to play them because they are such good downhill drivers. But for us, it kind of, made us a little soft. So I thought the change up defensively was really important, getting into our press and getting into our man. So, again, just kind of feeling the game out and, can't say enough about Bree. Just so excited that, she's put her head down and just continues to keep working. I thought the pass she made to Diamond in the zone and it was just a level typically don't see by a freshman. So I'm excited about where she's trending right now as we head into this last really tough stretch.
Yeah, Coach, a little sappy question for senior day. Just like whether they've been here for just this season or for Diamond and Faith the past 4 years, what have you seen from the four players who were here with us in media about their contributions both on the court and off the court for this team this year?
Yeah, I talked about before the game, just each and every one of them have had different journeys, and it hasn't been easy. And I think when, it's all said and done and over with, like they can rely on the fact that they've been really resilient. They've persevered through the highs and lows of college, and they've each had injuries, E coming over to another country, and moments that they're going to be able to look back on and realize they can get through tough things.
Hey, Coach, coming into the year, you talked a lot about how your team was going to have to really come together as a team and like have good team chemistry with a lot of new players coming in. Can you just talk about how over the course of the year you feel the team has really come together and just been able to play so well together?
Yeah, credit this team. I think they have put a lot of time in. I think it starts when they're back. In the apartments together and their chemistry there, and intentionally by the staff. We've really been focused in that area all season long. It's something we're each and every day about, and I think you see that now transfer into the court on both ends of the floor, and they kind of know their roles and they know what we're expecting.
Hey, Coach. Your half-court traps seem to really work in the third quarter today. I'm just curious, like, what specifically about that approach you saw that was really working for you?
Yeah, well, I saw a little bit in the first half when we were able to kind of get in some traps that we were having some success. So I thought the mentality coming out at halftime, the aggressiveness when we were getting the steals to score, I think they started to kind of play off of each other, and when they could shut down those traps and be really aggressive. We knew we had the length and size on them, so I thought we did a nice job taking advantage of it.
Hey, Coach. Tonight, Diamond had 31 points, one off her career high. What impressed you the most about her performance today?
Just her versatility. I thought, she was everywhere. I thought, obviously we needed every single one of her rebounds. I thought defensively she gave us some great things with her length, and then offensively she was a really hard matchup in transition, getting downhill, getting to the free throw line, 7 times, drawing fouls. She drew 6 fouls against them. So. She's kind of a matchup nightmare, with her versatility.
Coach, Abby Myers doesn't always get a lot of offensive rebounds, but it seems like she gets a lot of timely ones. Third quarter, about 4 minutes left, she gets an offensive rebound, goes right back up to it, gets the layup, gets the foul, gives you guys a 45-43 lead, and you guys just never look back from there. Just what did you see from her on that play, and can you talk a little bit more about, the energy there in the third and just never looking back?
Yeah, we said it as a staff. I mean, she was really, really good in that third quarter, and just kind of like gave us that boost of energy and confidence, and really went to work. I thought she had really good, shot selection, got on the glass for us, and made some big time plays, which you expect out of your 5th year. So really, really important point in that third quarter that, you just saw them all connecting together.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask about, you guys talked about how this was really a new way to win for you guys today through the perseverance of not really shooting well. How important is a win like this as you kind of head towards the postseason now?
Yeah, really important because, this is where it's at in February and March. Every team has seen each other enough and scouted enough. The NCAAs will be the same way, Big Ten tournament, that you have to find ways to win that are going to be different. So I think for us to have a night like this, I don't know that I recall a team ever not being able to hit a 3, but on the same end, I don't know if I've had a team shoot the free throws as well as this team to go up and be 100% in a game. So just those have always been our most successful teams in the past, is when you can challenge them to win in different ways, and they're not married to winning just one way. So I think that bodes really well for this team.
Yeah, Coach. I think, prior to the new year, I think there was a lot of, talk about perimeter defense and how you guys were kind of struggling in that department over, past month or so. That's really been a much improved category. Today, Illinois got a lot of open looks, hit them in the first half. You guys just kind of settled down in the second half. So was there something Illinois was able to do in the first half to get those open looks, or you think that was more on your end and them just shooting the lights out?
I think a blend of everything. We were in a lot of zone, and so the rotations in the zone didn't prove to be to our advantage. I don't think our energy was as great, and that we were ball watching a lot and watching the ball get kicked, so we were late to a lot of those shots. And then we got a lot more aggressive. I mean, we played man the entire second half, so maybe poor coaching, overthinking it in the first half. But like I said, traditionally they had shown that they weren't a great 3-point shooting team in the zone, and they came out on fire today.
We'll take one or two on Zoom. Go ahead, Damon.
Hey, Coach, while you all didn't make any threes today, you all were 18 for 18 from the free throw line. As the season wanes, games will come down to, free throw performances. What do you say about your team's ability to lock in at the free throw line and knock down a high percent of the shots?
Yeah, it's kind of a contradiction when you shoot the ball so well from the free throw line and then have a night like that. But I think it speaks volumes. This team has consistently been a really good free throw shooting team all season long. I think we're second in the Big Ten in percentage. So it's huge when you talk about the postseason, Big Ten tournament, NCAAs. You got to be able to step up and make critical free throws. So an important element to our team's success.
And then for Abby Myers, in the third quarter, she had a lot of success slashing to the rim and cutting without the basketball. What does that say about a player like her that's known for her shooting prowess, for her ability to slash to the rim, and also get to the rim when her shot's not falling like the way she wanted to?
Yeah, Abby thinks the game really well, and I thought she did a phenomenal job of just really understanding in that zone what we needed, and she does a great job moving without the ball. So again, it was a big boost for us to be able to have the amount of plays that she made for us in the third quarter.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
You guys get in the back. All right. We've got head coach Shauna Green here. We'll go out with an opening statement and then go to questions.
I thought we played well for 3 quarters and give Maryland. I mean, they're really good. They got a lot of different weapons that can hurt you. And the concern, obviously, playing them is their pressure. And we handled it fine until that third quarter when we didn't handle it fine, and they made us pay by getting a ton of baskets off of our turnovers. So you can't give up 29 points and expect to beat these guys on their home court. So really happy with us besides really that third quarter, and we got to grow, we got to learn, we got to be able to deal with that pressure.
What changed in that third quarter? I don't know if it was the way they came out with the pressure or what was the biggest difference?
I felt like they ramped it up. I knew they would coming out of halftime, when we had that whatever lead we had. I told our kids they're going to ramp it up. They're going to come at us. And they did. And even in the half court, I thought they really came at us and their aggressiveness and their switches. We had some turnovers even when we broke it. They just kind of took us out of our rhythm in both the press and then even in the half court in that third quarter. It's funny because I said, well, yeah, that's great. I'm happy. But then we still get beat. And, Diamond had 31 and, they have 56 points in the paint. So we're a great job, taking away the 3, but you can't give up 56 points inside. And I thought, we really did a good job, for the most part, in the half court, but then in that second, really in the third and the fourth, I just felt like they were really aggressive in driving. Diamond Miller got to the rim, and we didn't do a good job of making rotations and making a wall and stopping her. Now she's really, really good, so that's easier said than done. But every time that we did get that next rotation, try to fan her out a little bit, it was a little bit tougher shot. So she did a great job of taking advantage of them. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge challenge to not have, one of your starting point guards, and maybe Maryland and Ohio State are the 2 teams I
didn't want to see on my schedule next if you're without another one of your point guards with how they play. But, it was also a good experience for some of our other guys to have to step up and be under that pressure and learn from that. Because like I told our team, for us to kind of get to that next level, we got to be able to handle pressure. Because if you look at it, Maryland, these guys today, we had a lead. Ohio State, we were up 17. And then in the third quarter, the same thing. That pressure got to us, and we ended up losing that game by a couple. So those are two games where, the pressure alone it really was a difference in the game. No, I don't. Hopefully Sunday, but I don't have a timetable.
Hey, Coach, Brandon Alter with Sports Pulse. What was working so well for you guys from three in that first half? If you guys started 5 for 5 and should finish pretty well from three, just what was working? What did you guys see? And then what outside of the turnovers, maybe what wasn't there in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we were getting some good looks from three when against our zone, and those are shots we've really made all year. We haven't. If you look at the stats, we were like the top 3-point shooting team in the nation most of the year. And in the last 5 or 6 games, we just haven't shot a high percentage, and we're getting good looks. They just haven't gone in. Now today they were going in. And so it was nice to see that we got into a groove and saw a couple shots going from three. So hopefully that'll continue to propel the rest of the year. And I come back to the third quarter. It was the pressure. It was just everything from the press into the half court. I mean, they just really ramped that up. And with their length, we're not that big. With their length, it's hard to even get into offense in the half court. And then a couple of those shots didn't go in. So I just think all of that stemmed from them, ramping that up.
Hey, Coach, Makaira and Jada both had career highs in Big Ten play with 29 points. Makaira and then Jada at 17. What was working for them offensively throughout the game?
It was great to see Jada come off the bench and really have a big game, because she's one, that early on was really shooting at a high level, and she was a huge spark off the bench. And then, her and actually Makaira both have kind of struggled from three the last five or so games. So we need, especially Jada and Jayla, who normally come off the bench, that's huge for us. We need them to come in and be able to produce. So I was just really happy for her, because she was getting those same shots. Today they went in. So, to get those, a kid, when you're a shooter, you can see 1 or 2 go in, now it's just confidence. I mean, most of that is not technique. Most of it's just right here and the confidence piece of it. We were taking good shots, and now she made some. And then Makaira, we rely on Makaira a lot to put up a lot of shots. And today even more so when you're out without Genesis, who's our second leading scorer. And so Makaira is just, she does so much for us. And she hit she was 4 for 9 from 3 today. And you can see she's just, not a lot of players have the ability at any point they can get a shot off. And she's one of those players that at any point she can get a shot off. And you saw that late in the game. She kind of took over for a little stretch when we cut it back down to 10.
Everybody good? I got one last one. You talked a little bit about diving earlier, but I wanted to ask, from your perspective, what is the biggest challenge to kind of keeping her from, getting in the paint that well, and just the biggest challenge you have to keep her?
Yeah, for us, we just don't, it's not really a good matchup for our team in terms of you need a bigger, athletic guard, someone that can keep her really in front. And it's just not a great matchup for us per se. But she is really good. She's very good at getting her shot. She's good at getting to the rim, finishing, great footwork. She never, her up and unders, and she's always constantly working to get around. she was 12 for 23. And 0 for 3, but 9 rebounds. I mean, she kind of did everything, and 4 assists, only 2 turnovers. Across the board, she kind of loads up the stat sheet. So just a phenomenal player, and I can't say I'm not too sad to see her, graduating. So it's nice to look at, okay, senior day. Abby Myers is gone. That's good. But, Brenda will reload anyway. So I have so much respect for this program. And I followed, these guys forever. I'm from Iowa. Brenda's from Iowa. I've always watched her from afar and just really,
again, respect and admire what she's built here. So nothing but respect for this program. Thank you, guys.